Information fueled,
opinion driven. This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
we talk news.
8:07, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on in for a Thursday. Johnny B's here, Joan Jones as well. I'm Dan Mandis, joined in studio today by David Siracusa. And David, appreciate you coming in. You contacted me, I think about a week and a half ago, and one of our mutual friends recommended that I have you into the studio to talk about your movie, and it really looks good to me. It's called The Uncivil War, Divided America. And I'm going to play a little snippet of the trailer here. Then we're going to talk about what the movie's about and how folks can see it.
Is it bad news that we don't agree on politics?
We've been friends forever. You and I don't agree.
I'm sorry, are you saying because I'm white, I don't care about black people dying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Actually, I do care. I just don't care about drug-crazed lunatics.
Oh, so I'm assuming you're talking about George Floyd.
Yeah,
he wasn't a drug-crazed lunatic.
Screw you, man. I don't need that.
Screw you. Where are you going?
I'm going home.
I mean, it's a very powerful scene. And I mean, obviously, you can tell just from that soundbite that this is about you play the lead character in the movie, and your best friend for many years is a guy who's black. And the George Floyd situation back in 2020?
2020, yeah.
Causes a rift between you and your best friend of forever. So talk a little bit about, I mean, the inspiration is fairly obvious as to what you were inspired by, but talk a little bit about your journey. You wrote it and you are starring in it. And did you produce it as well?
I produced it as well. Yeah, I'm the executive producer on it. So
okay.
It's been an amazing journey. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been difficult. As we were talking about before I got in here, the life of an independent filmmaker is tough. You know, I have to pay to put it in all these movie theaters.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult process, but the movie really focuses on the angst that they feel, the struggle, because people just can't talk anymore in our society in a civil way. And it's sad.
Really? I couldn't tell. Says the talk radio host.
Yes. Well, believe it or not, people do get angry at each other. Yeah. And it's crazy because you think, okay, here's two guys that have been friends forever. Why can't they talk about stuff? You know, I get it. It's a difficult topic, but why not talk about it? And the cool thing is the audiences have agreed with that. They say these are topics that we need to be talking about.
Well, and I don't really care about, you know, the professional movie reviewers, although I don't know what they've said about your movie, but I can tell you that the online reviews from people just like me are very good, and people seem to like this. And I think the reason why is because right now in 2024, this is a universal topic because the movie's about the inability to be able to talk about the differences, George Floyd and all that. But, you know, you can throw in politics, you can throw in Donald Trump, you can throw in, I mean, any number of issues that are driving Americans apart. So I think that one of the reasons why this movie is very successful is because it's so relatable.
Absolutely. Definitely. The funny thing is when the audiences, when I've talked to them, usually the first comment I get is, oh my God, that's him. You know, the wife's sitting there and she's like, he won't get off the computer. He's hitting on the keyboard all day long. He's talking about Trump or Harris or whatever. And he's just riling everything up. And so it's funny. Everybody tends to see themselves in the movie in certain characters.
Well, I think there's been so many Americans, myself included, by the way, who have lost loved ones because of our politics. And so I think that for a lot of people, and I know that people that listen to WTN have all experienced this, where you've lost somebody that you loved because of your politics, and you've got to be true to yourself and stand firm. And so what I find fascinating about this movie, I have not been able to see it yet, but what I find fascinating about it is the fact that the dynamics are there. I mean, your character is going through a divorce. Mm-hmm. And it's in the trailer.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so he's going through a divorce.
Yep.
And so now you're out in the dating world, and you're conservative, and you start dating somebody who is not as conservative. Is she like a liberal or whatever?
She's pretty liberal. In
okay,
the film,
so you've got that dynamic of a conservative dating a liberal. And then in talking about it, and this is what that scene is, in talking about it with your black friend, you realize that you two are not really simpatico on politics either. And so it's just a great story. Now, you've been traveling the country showing this in theaters, and from what I can gather, the response has been pretty good.
It has been. It's been really good because I think part of it is it's a little bit funny and it's a little bit poignant and then it's intense at times. So you get great emotion from people. Kind of a funny story. After our first premiere, everyone was glowing. It's fantastic. Great movie. Then we go and show it in Sarasota. First time I show it, 17 people in the theater. Couple gets up and walks out 5 minutes into the film.
Oh, no.
Then another couple gets up and walks out. By the time the lights go up, there were 4 people left in the theater. I look at my wife and I said, oh my God, they hate me. They hate my movie. Well, the next night we had 21 people in there. 21 stayed till the end and they all loved it. And we've had a great response ever since then. But it is interesting because it's a work of art. It's like putting a painting up on the wall. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. And I love the fact that it got such a powerful reaction because that's why we go to the movies, right? You want to feel emotion. You want to feel angry. You want to feel excited. You want to laugh. You want something. So if I don't get a reaction, I haven't really done my job, I guess, right?
Yep. You know what's interesting? So you're an independent filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's got to be really difficult these days. And so have you made other movies that are conservative in nature or political in nature? I mean, what's your resume like?
Well, so the funny thing is my resume is this movie for the most part because I've only gotten into movies 3 years ago. I mean, I'm brand new to this industry.
So 3 years ago, you got to
Yes.
be up your, you know what? So you're going to go and you're going to produce a movie. You've got a great idea. Did you try to sell the script to some of the movie companies or you just knew that they wouldn't make it?
No, I knew they wouldn't make it and I really wanted to make it myself. And so just jumping into the industry with no knowledge, it's amazing. We got Daniel Roebuck, who was in U.S. Marshals and The Fugitive and Matlock. We got Musetta Vander from Wild Wild West and Kicking and Screaming and a bunch of other stuff. So we got great people in the film. Everyone really loved it. We actually had 2 very liberal Hollywood actors. And very interesting, in our first table read where everyone sits around and reads the parts, one of the actors would not say the part when it got to Trump, and he actually hadn't read the script. He looks at the line, he says, and I'm going to throw up in my mouth, but I'll say this line, I love Trump. We had to fire the guy. We had to fire both of our 2 initial Hollywood people because he could not say his character's lines. That's how I ended up playing the part.
No kidding.
Crazy, right?
So you had not done any acting?
I had done acting. I had done some acting, but this was my first movie that I wrote. And my next one will not be political at all. It's actually about my fear of flying. And actually, I want to do another one also about a black inventor at the turn of the 1800s, early 1900s. So I've got some other ideas out there.
So this experience hasn't scared you away?
Oh, no, not at all. I've loved this experience. It's been difficult. It's been tough. But I love it. I love acting.
Nashville's Morning News, David Siracusa joining us, the star, writer, and producer of the Uncivil War, Divided America. It is showing tonight is it tonight in Murfreesboro?
Tonight in Murfreesboro at 6:30. The final showing is here in Tennessee.
So you tweeted out that this is literally the final showing.
This is, yes. I've done a lot of showings in Florida, a couple in Georgia, just went to Texas, Beaumont. That was a great showing where my co-star, Buddha Bronson Taylor, Byron in the film, he was born in Beaumont, so we showed it there. Great, raucous crowd there.
Okay.
And now tonight, because we had such a great showing in Smyrna, so we said we'll bring it one more time back here.
Okay, so real quick, because I'm dying to ask you one more question, but first, can we get to the details of of where it's going to be showing in Murfreesboro? What's the theater? How can people get tickets and so forth?
Absolutely. So it's the Premiere 6 tonight at 6:30 in Murfreesboro, and you can go to Eventbrite and just search for the Uncivil War, America Divided.
Okay. So you had done some acting and you had, had some showbiz experience. And then you go to your wife of 25 years and you say, honey, I've got an idea. I want to write and produce and maybe even star in my own movie. I'm dying to know what her reaction was.
It was not. That is an awesome idea. It definitely was not that. I actually, I had decided to retire early and just go do something crazy. In fact, it was kind of funny. She said, well, you're not just going to lay around on the couch. And I'm like, that's the definition of retirement.
Yes.
That's exactly what I want to do. So
that's what I'm looking forward to.
There you go. Next year, you be an actor. We'll go make a movie.
Sure. No, I work in radio. I've got to work about 30, 35 more years to be able to save enough for retirement. All right. So as far as making this movie goes, did you have an idea as to how difficult it would be?
No. So very interesting to me is making the movie. Not very difficult. It was just like running a business, and I've run many businesses. So not difficult. Distribution. Oh my Lord.
Yes.
That's the difficult part. Getting it online. So for an indie filmmaker like me, I'm going my own distribution now. I'm going to put it on the platforms myself. I'm going to market it. I'm going to do the whole thing.
So you know how to do it for the next movie that you do.
Yes.
And did this experience, you said that your next couple of movies are not going to be political. Would you consider yourself a political person?
Absolutely. The character of Tom is based on me. I was that guy on the computer. I don't do it as much anymore because I don't want to lose friends anymore and loved ones. And, it's funny when people talk about I lost someone to COVID, they're not talking usually about disease. They're saying, I don't talk to my best friend from high school anymore because we started talking politics.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't think it was like this 10 years ago.
You look at, Trump, COVID, vaccines, all the different, obviously, politics, generally speaking. And what I've noticed, one conservative to another, one of the things that I've noticed and is not lost on this audience that, do you know that I don't know one conservative who actually disconnected with their more progressive friend? It's always the progressive disconnecting with the conservative. Do you know a conservative that is disconnected from liberal? I don't.
Yeah, I actually I had one friend that I disconnected from because I didn't like that he had kind of wished something bad on Trump. That COVID got him. And I said, you're a former teacher. You've got a lot of kids that look up to you. I don't think you can be saying that online. I disagree with that. I don't like Walz. I don't like Harris. I don't like Biden. I'm not going to wish death on anyone. Hitler maybe, but all that talk about people in politics being Hitler, they're not. Unless they're really Hitler, they're not. It's too overgrown.
All right. So very quickly, one more time. Where is this movie playing and how can people get tickets? And if folks can't go tonight, is there another way that they can see the movie? Is it on, Netflix, or is there a way for them to see it maybe on YouTube?
Yeah, so premiere 6 tonight, 6:30. Go to Eventbrite and search for The Uncivil War, America Divided. And yes, it will be on Amazon. It will be on Tubi. It will be on a bunch of platforms. It's just the struggle of when. It'll probably be 2-3 months before that happens, but I promise it will be out there.
Will you let me know when it's on the various platforms so that, number one, we can promote it, and number two, so that I can watch it myself?
Absolutely.
Because I can't make it out to Murfreesboro tonight. I would love to, but, duty calls.
I will send you your own personalized DVD of it, I promise.
Oh, wow, look at you. All right, very good. Well, thank you very much. And do you have a website, some way to promote your other movies?
Well, you can go to the uncivilwaramericadivided.com, the longest website of all time, or to my name, davidsiracusa.com, which nobody can spell Siracusa. So, I just have the worst websites of all time.
The first thing I said to David when we tracked him down and he walked in and I said, so how do you say your last name? So, because I'm the king of mispronouncing names.
Yeah. Syracuse University with an A at the end is the easiest way to remember it.